Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having um, an okay day. Again, I don't think anyone was having a good day today. That, well, at least people that were longing. I know some people that were shorting. I saw some YouTubers were posting like, "Oh, I'm gonna short the GameStop," and yeah, like it's like trashing on the company, and definitely they got paid today, right? For sure. Like, I mean, congrats to those two who shorted. You made some money, and 22% in a single day. That's amazing, right? By any standard. But let's get on to our count, and I'll give you guys an update on what's happening because we have some invalidations happening here, right? We took out the low, we broke the low. We broke the low, which means that we are going to unfortunately most likely extend lower. But I don't think we're going to extend much lower, and I'll give you my take on the whole situation here that just unfolded today. So last time we talked about GameStop, right? Let me delete some of these counts here so I make it a little bit more clear. And you know, last time we were talking on Tuesday before earnings, we had a nice impulse off the lows, and what we needed to finish this sort of impulse was another high, which I wanted, a little bit, a little bit higher, with some bearish divergence. The same that you got on the larger time frame. You made another higher high with a lower high on the RSI, and that would have confirmed a wave one setup, right? And then a two, and then you could have done this. Now the market chose to explode higher, right? Which erased divergence. So now you know that the wave three would have extended, and what you would have needed here again. And I was favoring like, oh my god, the wave three extended. We could easily just continue to impulse out like this, right? And then the wave one could have continued on, and the low would have been in. But now we had this convertible bond offering, and the news came out, and everyone's freaking out. Their short volume spiked 7 million%, right? So now we know that we have three waves up. So when you have three waves up in a connector, and we're still in this connector because of the invalidation of us taking out the low, and we know that we're probably going to need another low again to erase divergence. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see here the RSI has sold off pretty dramatically, but not enough to take out this low here, right, at the bottom. Now we did take out the low on the daily time frame here, right? So that was a really good setup, right, for a long. Now what I would not mind to see is us coming back and retesting this downsloping trend line. And we talked about this last time, right? I told you guys that if we break out, that's going to be amazing. That we just need to reconfirm and retest this downsloping trend line, RSI breakout, daily cycle breakout, and confirm it, right? If we come back down and re-enter it, that would obviously be bearish, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do that, because now we would enter a new buy area. So let's talk about the targets of what's going on and some possible scenarios of what could be playing out, right? So now I got this playing out kind of like an extension, right? So you have another W, right? Or sorry, another W, X, and a Y. And now, right, now that we've broken the low, we need in 5 waves down on the smaller time frames, something like this, where it does an A, a B, and a C. Now I would actually like and I wouldn't be surprised if this happens, because the volatility is so high on GameStop right now. There's just so much news going around it, Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that. We can take a look at the Bitcoin chart later. But the B wave could actually come back up and fill the gap, and then you can come crashing down again and hit the buy area down at $19.56, right? And I was actually buying today, because I was like, oh, you know what? They're gonna do a 1-2 setup, and then I started buying here, and I did a little bit more. I picked up like 800 shares today on this disaster, right? That everyone is selling into. But really, Looking back at it, I was like, oh man, this was actually 3 waves up. I probably should have just held some more capital and waited to deploy it at a better time. And again, I'm going to be reaccumulating a lot of capital here throughout other positions that I have in the market, and I'm going to be deploying them if we are going to get near this target or even hit it, right? Because I'm going to be, I'm going to be ready for this once more, like I was ready down here when I was deploying some capital and buying up some shares, more shares right around 22. This is where I was really interested in picking up a lot more, and then the move took over. But now we're looking for this target here, and we're looking for something like this here to play out. Could it have ended just like this, just like that? Sure, maybe, but I would actually favor like something more shaped like this, where it'll play out like that, right? Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong one here. So now you need something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, right? Maybe just a small little low, and then bullish divergence. Finish the A wave, and then you're off to the races, really, right? In a B wave connector, and then come back down in a C. Hopefully erasing divergence on all the time frames that we need to confirm that this low is in. Now, it's not all bad news, right? The price came down, and we'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart too, maybe after if we have some time. Right now, Market Cipher, we'll start off with the larger time frames, right? We'll start off with the larger time frames. Why not? So even with this dramatic sell-off, 22% in one day, for some reason, the weekly time frame managed to hold its green dot, and it's still holding as of the close, right? So I was like, wow, we have one day tomorrow. I wonder if we were able to confirm a green dot here. That would be pretty impressive, right? I would be really impressed if that happens. I would be quite surprised to be like, oh man, the GameStop really is pretty strong here. It's holding up. And the 4-day is doing pretty well, 17 and a -5. 3-day, again, this one has turned pretty dramatically in this recent drop. And the 2-day time frame, 25 and a -5 on the dual band strength index, but the next candle might not be so favorable. And the daily time frame took a really big turn, right? And now you still have red money flow, and you confirmed a red dot today with this massive sell-off. But again, short-term price action is going to be hard to gauge here with the momentum indicators. This is usually better when you're in a trend. You can identify dip buying opportunities, and when the trend is nearing an end, right? You can see how we were nearing the highs here, and money flow was diminishing slowly and slowly and slowly, and then you were probably getting to a point where you're running out of green money flow, and investors are going to exit for a sell-off, and you proceed to get into red money flow. Now we barely have any red money flow right now, so that's why I'm still favoring us being near a low, especially on the 4-hour time frame. You could do some crazy price action, and then you could still be going up, right? And it's as unlikely as that seems, it's very possible that can play out. But we got to let the chart develop. Daily time frame. Again, looking back at it at the close, especially on that news on earnings, big market buy here, big market sell from the whales, right? They're unloading their positions onto people. They bought a ton here, now they're sold the top. They bought the low, sold the top. Now we're in this mess here. We're gonna have to wait for this to play out and to see if they're gonna accumulate more at the lows, right? And they already started accumulating today, right around $21, $21.65. They start buying some more. Smaller time frames, you could really start to see, 45-minute and 30-minute, you can start to see that they start accumulating more at the lows. And it's only really, I think, when you get on the minute time frames, you could see there was a ton of buying today. Again, investors accumulating all this GameStop. I almost said Bitcoin, but accumulating all this GameStop. And again, as far as I know, just by looking, again, I'm not a big fundamental guy. I'm a market technician. So when I looked at the outstanding shares, apparently there was no increase. So again, people are talking about dilution. Who knows? Who cares? Let's just look at the chart and trade the chart. Let the news come afterwards, right? I was showing buys at around the lows. I didn't know that we were going to pop on earnings like that. And again, I can't tell you why, but again, the chart is still valid for a 1-2 setup. Now we look at the Wave Edge version 1. This is where I think on the smaller time frames, like on the 1 minute or something, it was riddled with buy orders. People were really starting to buy. On this entire drop on the 3 minute, there were just tons of buying right around the lows, pretty much like looking for that kind of double bottom pattern. That's probably why people were buying so much around this area. So again, I would be really concerned if we were dropping around these levels and we saw no buying. I've been like, okay, so people are really starting to give up here, and it's probably going to continue lower. But yeah, again, you got to think for a bigger picture. And when people talk about GameStop, is again, people are upset right now. Of course, the stock dropped so much. People are upset and they disagree with the idea of using basically MicroStrategy's way of issuing stock and to purchase Bitcoin and to pump the stock more and more. But again, I believe these guys started doing this in 2020, right around $12 a share. Then they went to 100, and then it went even higher, and then it went even higher again, and then I think it went up as high as like 4,000%. Now I see a lot of people saying like, yeah, it's gonna go to zero any day, like at any moment. MicroStrategy stock is going to go to zero, right? Okay, well, that hasn't happened yet, right? They haven't gone to zero. If anything, they've pulled back alongside with Bitcoin and bear market. It's almost like a Bitcoin ETF. Now, obviously, I know a lot of GameStop, investors don't want it to be like MicroStrategy, like essentially like a Bitcoin ETF. But the company is heading in a direction where they may really start to invest heavily into Bitcoin. And again, if you don't like it, I guess today was probably like maybe a lot of people selling today alongside with the convertible bond people who either exiting the stock as they don't want to be part of the Bitcoin bonanza. And when I look at the Bitcoin chart right now, real quick. So I trade a lot of Bitcoin, and as you guys can see, from what I can see right now is that Bitcoin is potentially set up for a move higher, but I fear that we may decline lower before it's all said and done. And again, the wave 2 could already be in here with a nice 4-hour push here. You peaked here with no divergence, so I can easily put the 2 here, and the move is over, and Bitcoin's going to start pulling back down. And if I was in Ryan Cohen's shoes and I were to buy billions of dollars of Bitcoin, I would absolutely not be deploying capital here. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like $87,000 of Bitcoin, the pocket change, sign me up. I wouldn't be doing that. If I had to buy, I would be waiting for like some sort of sell-off, like 30-25% at least, and trying to get a better deal, right? A better bang for my buck, right? Just like everyone else, I'm always looking for a deal. So I'm always looking to buy at better areas. I'm not Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor just buys at whatever price. He doesn't care. Like, this guy's is something else, man. So again, we're running close to the 15-minute mark here, so I kind of want to wrap it up. I know it was a tough day today for all investors. Again, I'm in your shoes, but I always understand the bigger picture, and I'm fine with it. And again, if this the strategy that they're going to employ to pump up the stock, then again, I don't really have a problem with it, because the stock is going to go up, and we're all here for the stock to go up. A lot of people are here for the mother of all short squeezes, but again, I'm here for to make money alongside everyone else. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. If you guys want, I can do another update maybe on the weekend, but that's it for today. Peace.